Hello, lovelies, and welcome back again. So, look, right, there's been all this kind of infighting going on in the conservative sphere of pundits and all, people who claim to be fighting for the cause, but really, when you take a little bit of a deeper look at it, they're doing some soft fighting, whatever, right? They're still doing something, right? Whatever. But there are some content creators who actually believe in what they're doing. And one of them is the quartering. I've been watching the quartering for a long time before I even had my YouTube channel. So, and I like I like what he talks about. He used to have another channel called Midwestly, but I noticed that he doesn't do anything on Midwestly anymore. And I feel like he should let me manage Midwestly. But anyway, so this is a content creator who does speak up for smaller content creators who aren't on his level yet. Shout out to him because he did give me a shout out on his channel. I did send him like a little super chat that he actually shouted me out. It was like, y'all check out her channel. I'm like, I didn't ask him to say all that. I'm like, oh my God, thank you. so I can't front, but this is somebody who I really was already listening to. But right now he is banned off of Twitter with another content creator called Brittany Venti. It takes a lot of work to put this together. So then you have to go on your Twitter to promote it, and the algorithm lately has sucked on Twitter. And then Twitter banned both of them who need the Twitter for marketing. They banned them because of a public image that was put out about this woman who claims to be a survivor of sex trafficking or human trafficking. And her name is Eliza Blue. And she is definitely friends with Elon because she shouts him out on her tweets, like, when they're talking about human trafficking, and Elon's like, Eliza Blue's done a lot of work with human trafficking. And I'm like, I'd like to think that I would know that, right? Let me tell you something. Anybody who's speaking out against child trafficking and human trafficking, shout out to them. But I feel like if you're going to do this, just do it, right? Don't come with a shaky story. And that's my issue with Eliza Blue. Okay. Eliza Blue says that she was trafficked at the age of 17 and she was sold for $500. I'm just a little confused because who sold you? Like, was it your parents? Because your parents were scrambling for money. It's come out that her father's like a Republican congressman and stuff. And she says that at 17, she went to LA. She met with these group of people who wanted her to be a model, and they knew that she wanted to be famous. But then they took her, but her abuser, she made her feel like she was in a relationship, but he had her, the abuser had her doing bad things, and she was doing drugs and stuff and different sexual acts. And I'm telling you the story the way she tells the story, okay? And then she said because of that situation, she was human trafficked again because she didn't know how to deal with people, but she survived somehow. She left her abuser, and so she would survive. But then when she got older, she was trafficked again. So then I remember hearing when she was older that she was trafficked again. And I was like, but how did she let that happen again? I finally found a little bit of footage of her talking about the second time of being trafficked again.
I was trafficked on Twitter as well. So there's been 3 profiles to my knowledge that my former abusers made to traffic me on Twitter. I didn't realize because I kind of just signed up for Twitter in late 2019. So it was like one of the last few days of 2019, I signed up for Twitter.
But what does that mean that they trafficked you on Twitter? How can someone traffic you if they're not in contact with you?
Yeah, so the way that was working, I didn't know about the profiles existing because I wasn't on Twitter and I wasn't looking for them. The way that my former abusers were doing it is that it was going back to my Instagram. The Twitter accounts were linking back to my Instagram, and they were trafficking me off Instagram, Backpage, sugar daddy websites. I mean, whatever type of internet trafficking is what was happening. I'll go into more detail. So it looks like a profile. In my particular case, the profiles look like profiles that would be me, but trying to entice business to sell me, bringing it back to my Instagram where they were doing business. Fortunately, in my particular case, there are no nude images or videos of me on Twitter. Thank God, right now. The day is young, I guess. But it would go back to my Instagram, and that's how they would traffic me, sell me without my full consent and without my knowledge. When I joined Twitter, an ex-boyfriend actually pointed out the first profile. After I reported it to Twitter, it took them 3.5 months to take it down. The second profile took 5 days. They actually took it while I was on my way to they took it down while I was on my way to do my interview with Tim with Tim Cast, and then the third profile, the platform has refused to take down.
Okay, so I don't understand. So someone creates a fake profile of you. There's photographs of you. How are they monetizing this? How is Twitter getting a cut? Like what's literally happening?
Yes. So Twitter makes cut off all of our Twitters based off advertising sales and data sales.
So there you go. That's her explaining the second time, was that people were using her images and selling them on the internet. And I guess getting men to buy the material, and they were making money off of her. And Twitter was making money off of it too, because Twitter makes money off of all of our accounts. This is not human trafficking. We need to stop sugarcoating things and making things sound good or acceptable because somebody's doing a good thing. She can advocate for human and child trafficking. I don't know who she's helped, but I know that the conservative, of course, pundits have promoted this girl to be some sort of survivor. But now this is the same person who says she believes in freedom of speech, but makes sure to have two content creators banned off of Twitter, and Elon, I thought you believed in freedom of speech. This is what you were saying, right? Oh, freedom of speech, and I'm banging this because I can't say what I want to say, and this, that, and the third. Well, guess what? You're doing the same thing again, and now you get this headline, which I'm not shocked about. Elon Musk, Twitter is caving to government censorship just like he promised. Tech companies, including Twitter, are following Indian government's demand to suppress BBC documentary critical of Prime Minister Modi, as reported by The Intercept and TechCrunch. Twitter and YouTube both locally blocked the Modi question, which investigates claims of Modi's involvement in India's deadly 2002 Gujarat riots. Okay. In one of Twitter's first tangles with India under ownership of the billionaire Musk, but contrary to some writing, the documentary's ban isn't an example of Musk violating a vocal free speech absolute ethos. It's a reminder that Musk has always been fine with government censorship. So yeah, this is not new. Elon is still being bullied to fund Starlink over in Ukraine without getting paid for it. So, you know what I mean? Like, whatever, right? Like, I never expected it to be perfect. The Disaffected podcast is still not back on Twitter. So that whole free speech absolutist, he doesn't understand it. Now, listen, I'm not coming for him. He did the best he could do. He gives us these little sugar-coated Twitter files with the cool conservatives and talking about the cool conservatives who were banned. They weren't even banned. They just got suppressed. All of it's not right, but there's certain people like are in the cool club and they get to get talked about. But the people who are really putting in the hard work and the muscle, they get left behind. So whatever, but it's cool. But I wanted to make this because I believe in the movement of inconvenient truth to help society. I do believe in freedom of speech. I do believe in calling people out for their lies. And I don't believe Eliza Blue is any kind of survivor or any kind of hero. No, I don't. And if she calls herself fighting for freedom of speech, she finds a very weird way to show it. Free the quartering, free Brittany Vensey. I'll see you guys at the next video. Bye.